Greetings, this is Ben Frazier. It's Easter. Beautiful, beautiful day here in Virginia Beach. I've been asked to speak a little bit about my experience with Steve Halliday when he was my student in the doctoral program at Regent University several years ago. A couple of things that give it a context. One is that Steve was not the first student that has had problems with depression and anxiety. It is very common today to have a lot of students in our classes that have this. And in fact, I had one very dear friend who was also a doctoral student before Steve that had depression. And so I spent a great deal of time, even visited him when he went back to the West Coast. And he had to wrestle with that. A very bright, a very accomplished man, but wrestled with that. So Steve was not the first person I've dealt with that. And then many other students have had various anxiety and depression issues. The other thing that helped me was that my own son, my youngest son, has fought depression and mainly anxiety attacks for several years. And so I have worked with him and listened to him and been a part of his life as he's tried to manage that. It's very clear, anybody that has met Steve, that he's a very talented, very intelligent, a very godly man. So when he comes into your office and says, I think I lost my faith, I don't know where God is, and that sort of thing, that just didn't ring true to me, and I wasn't going to buy into that lie. And so I wouldn't argue with him, but I would show him love. I would listen, and I would say positive, powerful things, as powerful as I could say, maybe that powerful, but positive things into his life. And I would listen to him, and I just wouldn't get involved with the arguments, nor would I get involved with agreeing to that's the way life was. I think another thing as I look back on it, I tried to spend as much time as I could. And so besides being positive and being interested in him, I just wanted to spend time. And I honestly believe during that whole time that Steve was going to deal with this and be a stronger man because of it and come out of it. Life brings us all kinds of challenges and issues that make it very difficult to deal with. And so a Christian isn't somebody that doesn't have depression or doesn't have anxiety or doesn't have failures in their life. They're just a person that has somebody to see them through and to help them through, and a community of people that will encourage them. And this is what we did with Steve. I think another thing is that, and I didn't always do this, take anxiety, take depression seriously. So I never made fun of it. I never made light of it. I understood it was a very serious issue, but I also understood that I honestly believe that's who Steve really was a man that was going to be able to overcome it, which in fact he did. And so it's just been a real pleasure to know Steve and to, even though went through a very difficult year or more, and he had to deal with these kinds of things, I think he's a better man because of it. I think he's a stronger Christian because of it. And I am very glad to be a part of his life and to know him. And the interesting thing is that he came out here to visit me about a year ago. And it was during that time that I had one of the worst experiences of my life. And it happened on the very day that Steve came and to visit and spend a week with me. And so he was able at that time to help encourage and strengthen me. And I so appreciate that. And I look forward to working with him in the future. And I just think you're very privileged to have such a godly and powerful and spiritual, but a real man among you and working with you. God bless you. Have a great day.